A group of internet trolls from 4chan became the most feared hackers on the planet. They brought down governments, exposed corruption, and terrified corporations worldwide. But here's the twist. They started as the Internet Hate Machine, a small group of 5 to 20 people who just wanted to cause chaos online for fun. How did anonymous pranksters transform into digital freedom fighters who could shake the foundations of power? The story of Anonymous is stranger than fiction, and it all began with a simple joke that spiraled completely out of control. But to understand how they became a global force, we need to go back to where it all started. The Internet Hate Machine. In 2003, 4chan was just an anime forum where anyone could post anything without revealing their name. Users appeared as anonymous by default, creating a strange collective identity where individual personalities disappeared into a digital mob. This wasn't planned, it was just how the site worked. But something powerful emerged from this nameless chaos. The anonymous culture attracted people who wanted to act without consequences. They called themselves the Internet Hate Machine, and that wasn't irony, it was a badge of honor. These weren't political activists or justice warriors. They were digital troublemakers who found entertainment in maximum disruption. The bigger the reaction, the better the joke. Their early campaigns targeted random people for no reason other than watching them panic. They perfected the art of coordinated harassment. One day, they'd flood someone's phone lines with thousands of calls. The next, they'd crash websites with distributed denial of service attacks. They sent fake bomb threats to schools, forcing evacuations and police responses. They ordered hundreds of pizzas to innocent people's homes. Every prank was documented, shared, and celebrated within their community. The core group was surprisingly small, maybe 5 to 20 people who knew each other through IRC chat rooms. They treated chaos like a video game, keeping score of successful attacks and planning their next targets. These weren't sophisticated criminals. They were mostly teenagers and young adults who discovered they could cause real-world panic from their bedrooms. The thrill was addictive. Their anonymous nature created a perfect storm. New members joined constantly, drawn by the promise of consequence-free mayhem. Veterans taught newcomers the tools of digital warfare, how to launch DDoS attacks, how to find personal information, how to coordinate mass harassment campaigns. Each successful operation built their reputation and attracted more followers. What looked like harmless internet trolling was actually intensive training. They learned to exploit security weaknesses, coordinate complex operations across multiple platforms, and maintain operational security while attacking targets. They mastered the psychology of fear, understanding exactly how to maximize panic and confusion. Every prank taught them something new about digital warfare. The skills they developed causing chaos for entertainment would soon find a very different purpose. Their transformation from pranksters to something much more significant was about to begin, triggered by an unlikely catalyst that would give their chaos a cause worth fighting for. The call to digital arms. In January 2008, a leaked Tom Cruise video changed everything. The promotional footage showed Cruise gushing about Scientology with uncomfortable intensity. This was about defending the principle that information should flow freely online. The transformation from chaos seekers to crusaders happened almost overnight. They had discovered something more satisfying than pranks, a real cause. Project Chanology became their first organised campaign with actual goals beyond just causing trouble. They coordinated DDoS attacks against Scientology websites, flooding their servers until they crashed. They harassed the church's phone lines with thousands of calls. They sent black faxes to drain their ink supplies. But the real breakthrough came when they decided to take the fight offline. Anonymous organised real-world protests in over 100 cities worldwide. Thousands of people showed up wearing Guy Fawkes masks from V for Vendetta. The mask became their visual symbol of resistance, creating an instantly recognisable image that unified protesters across continents. These weren't just internet trolls hiding behind computer screens anymore, complete with awkward pauses and manic staring. It was weird, cringeworthy, and spread across the internet like wildfire. The Church of Scientology didn't find it amusing. They launched an aggressive censorship campaign, sending legal threats and takedown notices to every website hosting the video. YouTube removed it. News sites pulled their copies. The church's lawyers worked around the clock to scrub the video from existence, treating it like classified government secrets instead of promotional material they had created themselves. Scientology's legal assault hit Anonymous where it hurt most. These weren't just random trolls anymore. They had developed a genuine belief in internet freedom. The idea that any organization could control what people saw online violated everything they stood for. Scientology had picked a fight with people who treated censorship as a personal insult. Anonymous realized they had found an enemy worth fighting. This wasn't about causing random chaos for entertainment. They were real people standing outside Scientology buildings, demanding transparency and accountability. The scale of their response shocked everyone, including themselves. Anonymous strangers coordinated massive protests using nothing but forum posts and IRC chats. They proved that decentralized groups could mobilize collective action and actually impact powerful institutions. Scientology's attempt to silence one embarrassing video had backfired spectacularly. Project Chanology's success changed everything. Anonymous had evolved from pranksters into something much more significant, a force that could challenge established power structures. But this victory was just the beginning of a much larger war. Digital warfare goes global. Their next targets would put them on a collision course with governments and corporations worldwide. Operation Payback launched in 2010 as their most ambitious campaign yet. This time, they weren't just fighting a controversial church. They were taking on the entire anti-piracy establishment, targeting law firms, lobby groups, and even the United States Copyright Office with coordinated DDoS attacks. The real escalation came when WikiLeaks released classified documents and faced a financial blockade. PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard all cut off donations to Julian Assange's organization. Anonymous saw this as corporate censorship at its worst. They launched Operation Avenge Assange, flooding these financial giants with so much traffic that their websites crashed for hours. This wasn't pranking anymore. They had crossed a line that would bring serious legal consequences. Their influence spread beyond corporate targets during the Arab Spring in 2011. Activists in Tunisia and Egypt were fighting authoritarian regimes that blocked internet access and monitored communications. Anonymous provided crucial technical support, distributing software that helped protesters bypass government censorship. They shared step-by-step guides for circumventing surveillance and coordinating resistance movements in real time. These weren't just digital attacks anymore. They were actively supporting real-world revolutions. The HB Jerry federal hack demonstrated their retaliation capabilities when security firms tried to expose them. CEO Aaron Barr planned to reveal Anonymous leadership at a security conference. Big mistake. Anonymous infiltrated HB Jerry's network, stealing internal documents and exposing Barr's personal information, including his home address and social security number. They released thousands of internal company emails, humiliating Barr so completely that he was forced to resign. The irony was perfect. A security firm that claimed to protect government web applications couldn't even protect itself from hackers they were trying to expose. Anonymous had penetrated systems designed to be secure, revealing just how vulnerable even cybersecurity experts could be. Each success made them more visible to law enforcement agencies worldwide. The FBI, CIA, and intelligence agencies across multiple countries were now actively hunting Anonymous members. They had evolved from pranksters into a legitimate force for digital freedom, but this same visibility that amplified their message would soon become their greatest weakness. Their strength had always been anonymity, but that protection was about to face its ultimate test. The betrayal that changed everything. The FBI had found a way to destroy Anonymous from the inside, and the hacker who helped them was someone they trusted completely. Hector Xavier Monsegur, known online as Sabu, was everything Anonymous valued in a leader. He coordinated major operations, inspired fierce loyalty, and seemed to embody their ideals of digital freedom. His peers described him as a legend who could rally hackers across the globe. But Sabu was living a double life that would shatter the movement from within. When the FBI arrested Sabu in 2011, he made a choice that would haunt Anonymous for years. Instead of staying silent, he became an informant. For months, he continued operating as a trusted leader while secretly feeding information to federal agents. Every conversation, every plan, every target, the FBI knew it all. Sabu's betrayal wasn't just about one person switching sides, it was about weaponizing the trust that held Anonymous together. Jeremy Hammond, a 27-year-old hacker and anarchist, became Sabu's most devastating casualty. Sabu introduced Hammond to what seemed like a golden opportunity: access to Stratfor, a global intelligence firm. Hammond penetrated their systems, stealing millions of emails and thousands of credit card numbers. But it was all a setup. The FBI was watching every keystroke, building an airtight case against him. Hammond received a 10-year prison sentence for the hack. The decentralized structure that made Anonymous powerful also made them vulnerable to exactly this kind of infiltration. They had no central authority to verify members or detect betrayal. When Hammond later reflected on Sabu's actions, he called him the internet loudmouth who had sided with the enemy. Hammond believed that if Sabu had held his ground, the movement would have survived intact. Internal conflicts began tearing Anonymous apart as members questioned their increasingly aggressive tactics. Some controversial actions, like posting epilepsy-inducing images on the Epilepsy Foundation's forum, caused real harm to innocent people. These incidents sparked ethical debates about whether their methods matched their message of digital freedom. The betrayal by Sabu and subsequent arrests proved that even anonymous collectives couldn't stay hidden forever. Anonymous's influence declined dramatically after these arrests. The loss of trust within the group made coordinated operations nearly impossible. Yet their transformation from internet trolls to digital freedom fighters had already changed the landscape of online resistance forever. Despite setbacks from FBI operations and internal splits, Anonymous proved that a small group of internet trolls could evolve into a global force that governments and corporations actually fear. What started as bored teenagers making jokes on 4chan transformed into coordinated attacks that brought down major websites and supported real-world revolutions. When they re-emerged in 2020 to support Black Lives Matter, they demonstrated their enduring impact on digital activism. The question isn't whether Anonymous can be stopped, it's whether the next generation of digital activists will learn from their mistakes. As one member said, "You can't jail an idea." Future movements must find ways to maintain trust while staying anonymous, balancing aggressive tactics with ethical boundaries that don't harm innocent people. From Habbo Hotel to global uprisings, Anonymous showed that digital dissent can reshape our world, for better and worse. What comes next is up to us.